Right now, somewhere in your pocket or on the table beside you, your phone is waiting. You already know you are going to check it. Not because you need to, not because anything important happened. You are going to check it because something ancient and hungry inside your brain is telling you to. But the real answer is far stranger than willpower or bad habits. It has almost nothing to do with the phone itself. Think about the last time you picked it up without even deciding to. Maybe you were bored for 3 seconds. Maybe you felt a flicker of unease and your thumb moved before your brain caught up. That reflex was not built last decade. It was built over millions of years, long before screens, long before language, long before humans even stood upright. Your brain runs on a very old system. Scientists call it the reward pathway, and at the center of it sits a chemical called dopamine. Neuroscientist Wolfram Schultz spent years studying the system in the 1990s, and what he found changed how we understand desire itself. Dopamine is not released when you get something good, it is released when you expect something good might be coming. Read that again. It is the anticipation, not the reward, that lights up your brain. Why does that matter for your phone? Because every time you unlock it, you do not know what you're going to find. Maybe a message, maybe nothing, maybe a like, a notification, a headline that pulls you in. That uncertainty is the entire trick. Your brain is not chasing the reward, it's chasing the maybe. This pattern has a name. Psychologist B.F. Skinner discovered it decades before smartphones existed, using pigeons and a simple lever. He found that animals rewarded on a random, unpredictable schedule pressed the lever far more often, and far more compulsively than animals rewarded every single time. He called it variable ratio reinforcement. It's the same mechanism that keeps people pulling a slot machine handle for hours. Your phone did not invent this trick. It just became the most efficient delivery system ever built for it. But why would evolution wire us this way in the first place? Picture your ancestors on the savannah, scanning the horizon for danger or for food. A rustle in the grass might mean a predator. It might mean nothing. The humans who paid close attention to uncertain signals, who stayed alert to the maybe, were the ones who survived long enough to pass on their genes. Anthropologist Sarah Blaffer H. Erdy has written extensively about how human attention evolved around social information specifically. Because knowing what your tribe was doing, who was upset, who was allied with whom, could mean the difference between belonging and being cast out. And in ancient human life, being cast out could mean death. So your brain built a very specific kind of hunger, a hunger for social information. Who is thinking about me? What are people saying? Did something change while I wasn't looking? For most of human history, that hunger existed, but it was rarely fed, and it was never designed to be fed constantly. Now think about what sits in your pocket. It's not a tool that occasionally answers that hunger. It's a device engineered, often by behavioral scientists, to answer it every few seconds, indefinitely, forever. Researcher Natasha Scholl spent years studying the design of Las Vegas slot machines and found that engineers deliberately designed for what she calls the machine zone, a state where a person keeps pulling not for excitement, but simply to stay in the loop of anticipation itself. Many former tech designers have openly compared app notification systems to the exact same principle. Here's where it gets stranger. Your body cannot tell the difference between a real threat and a phone buzzing. When a notification arrives, your nervous system responds the same way it would to a twig snapping behind you in tall grass, a small spike in alertness, a brief pull of attention that feels urgent even when it's not. Multiply that by the dozens, sometimes hundreds of notifications a single phone can generate in a day, and you get a nervous system running a low, constant hum of false alarms it was never built to sustain. Does that mean you're broken for reaching for your phone? Not even slightly. It means your ancient alarm system is doing exactly what it evolved to do. It just never evolved for a world with this much noise in it. There's another layer to this, and it might be the most human part of the whole story. Loneliness. Psychologist John Cacioppo, who spent much of his career studying social isolation, found that the human brain treats loneliness as a literal survival threat, not a mood. Isolated humans in ancestral environments were more vulnerable to predators, more vulnerable to starvation, more vulnerable to everything. So the brain built in an alarm for disconnection too. When you feel a pang of loneliness today, even for a moment, your phone offers something your ancestors never had, an instant, always available promise of connection, even if that promise is just a red notification dot, even if no one on the other end is thinking about you at all. That's the quiet trap. You are not weak-willed. You are running one of the most sophisticated survival systems ever built by nature, and it's being pulled on by a device engineered to exploit every wire of it at once. But can you fight biology, though? Not exactly, but you can understand it, and understanding changes everything. Once you know that the pull you feel is not a character flaw, but a very old alarm system misfiring in a very new environment, the shame starts to fall away. What's left is just information, useful information you can actually work with. Some researchers have started testing what happens when people remove the uncertainty from their devices, turning off notifications, switching phones to grayscale, which removes the bright, dopamine-triggering colors from app icons. Simple changes, but they target the exact mechanism Schultz identified decades ago. Remove the unpredictable reward, and the compulsive pull weakens naturally, without willpower entering the equation. Think about your ancestors one more time. They lived in small, tight-knit groups where social information moved slowly and rarely. Their alarm systems were calibrated for that world, a world of occasional signals and long, quiet stretches in between. You are not living in that world anymore. You are living in a world that never stops signaling, never stops offering the maybe, never stops asking your ancient brain to stay alert. So the next time your hand drifts toward your phone for no clear reason, pause for just a second. Ask yourself what you are actually hoping to find. Connection? Reassurance? Just relief from the discomfort of not knowing. You might not find an answer, but noticing the question is already something your ancestors never had the luxury or burden of doing. Right now, somewhere in your pocket or on the table beside you, your phone is still waiting. But maybe for the first time, you understand exactly why.